Raider Nation, our head coach, genius Josh McDaniels, well, this little guy has struck again. We now know exactly what happened with Jimmy Garoppolo. Why did he have his press conference delayed? Why did he initially go to the Raiders facility and not sign his contract? And why have the Raiders given absolutely no explanation for this until now? Josh McDaniels spoke to the media today, finally, as he's been avoiding the media for quite some time, and he had to answer the question as to why Jimmy Garoppolo will not be participating at OTAs. And he actually gave a quite enlightening answer, and Jonathan Jones is reporting right here that Jimmy Garoppolo hasn't practiced at OTAs this week. And Josh McDaniels did not get into specifics, but says that he hopes to see Jimmy Garoppolo back by a training camp.
There's a number of guys, you won't see him today. There's a number of guys that you're not going to see. Again, you'll see them. I mean, I'm not going to run down a list every time here, but honestly, not going to talk about the specifics of those things. You know, everything that's happened since we've signed Jimmy, we knew ahead of time. It's the same thing with Tyree.
And it gets deeper. Not only is Jimmy G not going to be able to practice, I'm sure that's going to make Devontae Adams very happy, but he had surgery that we didn't know about. We really didn't hear about this, and now we know after the signing, Jimmy Garoppolo had surgery. So he came in, and then, oh my goodness, we weren't able to get a deal done because of some unknown reason. But The Athletic reports that according to a league source, the Raiders discovered during Jimmy Garoppolo's physical that his foot actually did need surgery, and the procedure was done after his introduction. And his recovery timeline is unknown, and McDaniels says that he could be out at least until training camp. We made this video saying Jimmy Garoppolo could have failed his physical. It makes sense that he did fail his physical. It's the only logical and rational explanation for a delayed press conference. And we got a lot of crap for it. We got a lot of negative comments. A lot of people saying, oh, you're just a hater. Oh, there's no way that happened. Well, now it's becoming confirmed, and you have Ari Mirov backing up what The Athletic says, saying that his introductory press conference and official signing was delayed due to his foot not being fully healed. And this foot injury was an injury that happened in early December. People thought it was a Lisfranc foot injury. Timeline was 2 months. Many people thought he can come back and play in the playoffs for the Niners. That did not end up happening. And now we don't exactly know what it is. It's a left foot fracture. We know there's surgery, no details on the surgery. The Raiders are keeping everything hush hush. But the main point here is that we have a quarterback who's not able to practice with his brand new team. We have a front office and a head coach who can't be straight up with the fans about what's happening, who have to constantly hide exactly what's happening, even though it's a small detail. I mean, what is such a big deal about the fans finding out in March that Jimmy Garoppolo's foot is not 100%, as opposed to finding this out in May? Just like Josh McDaniels said, it's not a big deal. Training camp and the first game is quite a ways away. Jimmy Garoppolo could likely heal in time and maybe be able to play. Who knows if he'll be able to play at 100%. But I do not understand why they had to hide this from the fans, why they had to make up lies, and also give no explanation as to why the press conference was delayed. Originally, Dave Ziegler said, oh, there was a little hiccup, but it was nothing that we thought we could not move past and we could not eventually get a deal done with. So GM Dave Ziegler tried to make it sound like a contract issue, but now we all know, according to The Athletic, that it was more than that, and it was an injury, and it was a failed physical. That's what it was. We have a quarterback who is not 100%. We have a quarterback who every single week is losing reps with his new teammates, his new star wide receiver, who, by the way, earlier this month said that he's not optimistic about what the Raiders are doing. And think about where the Raiders are at when they signed Jimmy Garoppolo. Who else really wanted Jimmy Garoppolo? I did not sense that there were teams out there just fighting and in a bidding war for Jimmy Garoppolo against the Raiders. The Raiders had missed out on the Tom Brady sweepstakes because he retired. Aaron Rodgers had his heart set on the Jets. They recently got rid of Derek Carr. The Raiders really had no legit option at quarterback other than trading up in the draft or selecting Jimmy Garoppolo. And now it seems like Jimmy Garoppolo might not even be able to be that bridge QB guy. If he does make it to training camp, if he does make it to week 1, we're still not sure if he's going to be 100% health-wise, especially if he's having trouble now. And that's just the fact. So the Raiders need to find some answer at quarterback if they want to salvage this season. And there is a window of opportunity opening up here for Aiden O'Connell. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that I think Aiden O'Connell is going to lead the Raiders to the Super Bowl, right? But I have watched a decent amount of the quarterback's tape out of Purdue, and I will say he does have a great arm, could sometimes be erratic and too aggressive, but I would not be surprised if he gets an opportunity now, gets a chance to compete and practice and show what he's made of now that Jimmy Garoppolo is not there taking reps. And if you look at some of these rookie quarterbacks around the NFL, CJ Stroud with the Texans, Bryce Young with the Panthers, Anthony Richardson with the Colts, Will Levis with the Titans, and you think about all the weapons that those teams have, let's just say in a crazy situation that Aiden O'Connell ends up starting the majority of the games this season due to Jimmy Garoppolo's health issues. Well, because the Raiders do have Davante Adams, because the Raiders do have Josh Jacobs and a lot of great weapons on the offensive side of the football, I would not be surprised if at least statistically, Aiden O'Connell ends up putting up better numbers than all these other rookies if he gets the opportunity to play. And it's going to be interesting to watch Aiden O'Connell in preseason. Can he be like Derek Carr? Remember Derek Carr, also rocked number 4 in 2014. He was originally slated to be a backup to Matt Schaub. He ended up balling out in preseason and became the starter for the 2014 season. Could this happen with Aiden O'Connell as well? I really do not like how Josh McDaniels is very smug in these press conferences, to be completely honest. He tries to act like the fans don't know anything and he speaks down to them. Meanwhile, he's not being 100% truthful about the injury status of his starting QB, and he gets frustrated when he's asked reasonable, rational questions about the health of his quarterback. And I do think it's lame that they tried to hide the Jimmy Garoppolo news from us fans, because I really do not think it was a big deal. It's not like it helps our opponents to find out that information when you're going to find it out anyways in May. But who knows? Hopefully this opens up an opportunity for somebody like Aiden O'Connell, because if not, the Raiders are going to be searching for answers. Check out some of the other videos you may have missed on this channel. My name is WiFiWillie. Peace out, and I hope you have a good one.